Oh, come on. It's totally better. Whoa, we're live?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the wrap-up video for Star Trek: The Optimum Syndicate. I am your host, creator of Star Trek: The Optimum Syndicate, James Phoenix. Joining me are the cast members of Star Trek: The Optimum Syndicate. Of course, I played Captain and later Admiral Charles Bradford. Joining me was, of course, Commander Lin Long Xiaofang, played by Marcus Shadow.
Yellow.
Playing Lieutenant Jax, Chriz the Mole.
Hello, people.
Playing a cadet, then acting ensign, then ensign, Roger McClinton, Richter Hammer.
Hello, everybody.
And, of course, playing our nurse and acting CMO, Nora Needlam, Anastasia Lazerbeam.
How's it going?
She played an Ice Cube. And then she wasn't an Ice Cube. So she was Ice Cube, then nurse, then chief of medicines.
Sort of, yeah.
I helped. Yeah, I gave you an extra title here of Ice Cube.
Gee, thank you.
Hey, there's a rapper out there who likes that name.
Yeah. Gotta say, it was a good day.
Indeed. I hear he's in an upcoming movie with Kevin Hart.
Now, spoilers for those listening. There was actually an episode in between of some, but we couldn't do it in between the first one, where basically a giant space monster picked up Pew in an ice cube and dropped him in his friend's drink and went. But it didn't make the air.
What? That's just silly.
I want that to be a thing.
That's just silly.
Good time. Indeed. So, this is our wrap-up discussion where we're just going to have a little round-robin, talk about what everybody liked about it, what everybody didn't like about it, maybe some behind-the-scenes facts, so on and so forth, and we're just kind of throwing it out there. I will start. I will
back.
Yeah.
The writer of this is not allowed in their public schools.
I was worried that like some behind-the-scenes facts. I was like, oh no.
I have to, Rick, because I know you wouldn't want. I know you'd not be able to sleep tonight if you're like, wait, they said facts and Mole didn't make one up.
I know.
Touche.
He has to be consistent.
It does,
Also,
it does.
don't forget, we have the Master of Goofle Hangouts canon with us today.
Yes.
So be careful what you say.
Yes. But yeah, so I came up with this, a lot of what I did with this when writing it, and I do thank my people who have assisted me in writing this. Marcus Shadow was invaluable in helping me with some of the Star Trek lore, coming up with some of the backstory for things here and there, and fleshing out a few things, because of the 5 people here, Marcus and I are the 2 that, generally speaking, are the most comfortable dealing with the Star Trek lore, while Mole probably has about the same knowledge as us. He's not as comfortable of working with it, so the 2 of us did a lot of the creation of the backgrounds, although Mole did write 2 of the episodes for me due to unforeseen circumstances, including our excellent Christmas episode. So thank you for that, Mole.
That was our best one.
That was our best one.
I got to punch a snowman.
You did. You punched a snowman. It was great.
You can just punch him. Superman punched him.
I was looking forward to you Superman punching the... But what the hell were you going to Superman punch? I think that was attacking us.
He was going to... he was going to Superman punch a Mugano.
Yeah,
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, I got to Superman punch a snowman. It's the same.
Kind of.
And we get to sing that cool song. Like I said, yeah, exactly. Do you want to punch a snowman? Make his wife a widower.
That's a widow. A widower's a dude.
So what, is that Roman Reigns' Christmas
They can
song?
have
Do you want to punch a snowman?
Yes.
It's not same-sex marriages, Jim, are now legal. How dare you discriminate against homosexual snowmen?
Well, discriminating against homosexuals, but you're offended. But if it was a homosexual snowman, you're offending him by calling his husband a wife.
There's always a man. There's always a husband and a wife.
You're always a husband and a wife.
Hey, sometimes it can be a husband and a husband, or there can also be a wife and a wife,
No, one has to take on the role or the title of husband. It's like you can't have, oh, well, you're all president of the company. There's one president, and there's a vice president and stuff.
You're a president of the company. You're a
Oh,
president of the company. You're a president of the company.
Like there's one husband, like take Richter and Wife Blade. Richter is husband, therefore he gets pants. And then there's Wife Blade who has to listen to guy with pants. It's a fact.
What if they're both wearing pants?
Dun dun dun.
Women can't wear pants, it says so in the Bible. It says you're not allowed to wear garments pertaineth to a man.
Okay then.
Be surprised if that was actually in
That's
there.
actually in there. That's why I think Jim sniggered.
It sounded like something that was believably in there somewhere in the Old Testament.
I bet people who take the Bible way too seriously believe it's in there.
To be fair, even if you don't believe in the Bible, believing it's in there doesn't change it, whether or not you believe it's going to happen.
Yes. Just like if I believe there is a book of Austin and chapter 3, line 16 says I just kicked your ass, that doesn't put it in there.
It should.
Although he always forgets 3:17 says I apologize for it later. In hindsight, when I realized I had too much to drink. But I'm guessing they couldn't fit that on the t-shirt.
No, that wouldn't fit on the t-shirt.
They should have.
It should have.
But yeah, so it's the general idea of getting back to the Star Trek. But initially, when I went to the idea of the Star Trek, I'm a very big fan of Star Trek, as you know, and particularly one thing I particularly enjoy is the Star Trek novels. I read the novels they publish about a half a dozen of them a year or so, from a variety of authors, but all of whom they all generally know each other and they keep everything canon within all their different novels, except for William Shatner, who has to be special because Shatner.
That's because he is special.
Mm-hmm.
That's because the other authors know Star Trek. William Shatner is Star Trek.
Yeah.
Now, William Shatner is I'm going to Godmod Kirk.
God, I hate it when people just write a fanfic and make themselves the central character.
I know, isn't that terrible? Anyway, but a lot of the aspects that I took for this, we took some things from here and there, some things from the novel, some things from the Star Trek Online video game, which obviously neither of those things are canon, but they both have continued the storyline where it left off at the end of Nemesis, going and carrying it forward in different manners. So we took some things from here and there to work it out, to kind of create our own canon. Exactly. The Optimum Syndicate itself, the group, was inspired by the group known as the Typhon Pact in the novels. In that particular version of the group, all the members that I mentioned were there except for the Cardassians. The Cardassians are actually allied with the Federation and the other powers that they are friends with. The Gorn were actually the other member of the Typhon Pact, but because Mole had chosen that he should have a Gorn on the ship, which was an excellent choice, I swapped the groups out to make it work. And it worked well because, quite frankly, I think the Cardassians are a far more convincing villain than the Gorn. I think the Gorn should be on the side of the good guys.
They're fun. Why not?
They're fun. They're big lizard men. And yeah, so that was a big part of the inspired for the group and everything. And the inspiration for, of course, our villain. Real name Nicholas Prynne, but of course the name he was going by, his fake name Alexander Crane, which I should have established earlier, and that's a big regret of mine throughout this, is I didn't really plan the whole thing out in advance. I was kind of going episode by episode, and then even when I had plans, there were a lot of instances where a lot of plans, or somebody wasn't going to be there, or somebody didn't like this or whatever, and we ended up doing some changes on the fly, and so a lot of my plans kind of fell by the wayside, but I think it still worked out pretty well. And that character, we mentioned he formed this Optimum Syndicate, and then he was heavily inspired by a character known as Adric Thorson, who existed in the Third World War centuries prior, and all that information comes from the excellent Star Trek novel Federation, written by Judith and Garfield Reeves Stevens. They're a married couple. They often write Star Trek novels together. And if you get Federation, it's an excellent book. It is obviously, like all the other books, not canon, and has not been possible as canon since the movie First Contact came out, which kind of overrides a lot of the events of this book. But it's still an excellent book if you keep in mind that it's not canon, but it's a great adventure. Seeing the development of the character of Adric Thorson being he is referred to in canon, and he's basically usually referred to in the same breath as Adolf Hitler, which gives you an idea of the type of guy he was.
He's
And,
Space Hitler.
He's Space Hitler.
He was a great artist.
That is possible.
Sorry, are we supposed to forget that Hitler was a great artist?
He was
such a great artist. If he was such a great artist, why did he get rejected by art school? Thank you. Moving on.
He still did art, and like I said, he was a good artist. Like I said, what he did in the World Wars does not affect what he did in the art world. How dare they erase him from the Art Hall of Fame? Thank you.
Wow. Okay then.
What? It's the Benoit defense.
Adolf hit who?
Is it?
A little bit.
Right enough. But yeah, Star Trek Federation, great novel if you can find it somewhere. It's an excellent adventure. It features the character of Adric Thorson and the characters of Cochrane as they...
No, Bill and Ted was an excellent adventure.
Fair enough. As they chased them through time and they ended up meeting Kirk's crew and then later on Picard's crew on the Enterprise D. So that's a great novel. And a lot of the inspiration for our main villain was basically the idea that he was inspired by Adric Thorson, and that's where we got both the name for the group and everything. So that was a lot of fun, working that all out. One of the plot lines that I was going to use to try to tie everything together near the end was it was going to be a surprise for everybody, but unfortunately when we had certain people not around that I had to change episodes at the last minute, this was the big thing that got dropped. Was I had come up with the idea because I was establishing as we went through a sort of representative of each of the syndicate powers as we went through. I had a thought from the Breen Confederacy.
Oh my God, Space Captain Planet.
Captain Pollution. Captain Space Pollution.
Don't ruin what's my radio play. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, James would definitely be Captain Planet because he was helping the Syndicate wipe out pollution of the races.
Ah.
Okay,
that's not how this works.
By your racist powers combined.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my gosh, can that not be a thing? But it'd be really funny. Just
Hogan, Mel Gibson.
What?
There you go.
Now you're just ridiculous.
Iron Man John.
Donald Trump.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyway.
Your racist powers combined. I am George W. Bush.
No, that's too hard. No. Good try, but no. You dropped it. Anyway.
Played all from Jesse Jackson.
Jesse Jackson is not the president of black people.
So I'm sorry for people listening. Is it only racist if it's white people doing it? My bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Didn't you? We've discussed this several times. Yes. That's how this works.
You need to check your white privilege, Paul.
I do. I need to check my straight white male privilege.
Anywho. As I was saying, yeah, so the one of the plot lines because I'd introduced a representative of each of the syndicate powers. You know, I thought from the Breen Confederacy, a guy from the Tholians. I had that gull that I introduced from the Cardassians, so on and so forth. And I had a representative of the Zinkethi, even though I would have liked to do more with the Zinkethi, but I think what we did worked. And I had the Zinkethi representative and the guy from the Kinshaya. And the one person I didn't introduce is we never got we basically revealed that the Romulans were involved by having their technology involved and getting trapped on one of their ships, but we never actually had the Romulans directly involved in there. And what I had intended to do near the episode that ended up being the episode in which Zhao and McClinton go off and stow away on a Breen ship and end up finding the secret plan that the Tholians are trying to replicate, the slipstream drive. That's also for one of the novels, the idea that they were trying to replicate the slipstream drive, except it was the Gorn doing it in that novel. And
Gorn?
Don't ask me, I didn't write the novels.
Racist.
Maybe they are, I don't know.
Just sat here minding my own Gorn business.
Anyway, as I was saying, the plotline that I'd initially been going to try to work in as a surprise near the end of what that episode had been originally written as, which in its original incarnation, that episode would have featured Roger stuck alone on the Conquest, while the rest of us had beamed over to a derelict Romulan ship and ended up getting trapped.
Oh,
and we would have. And as we all got trapped over there would have been some injuries. So and on the one aspect, Nurse Needlam was going to have to try to keep everyone alive, while Cadet Clinton was going to have to try to reclaim the ship to come save us. So they both would have had a highlight episode. But unfortunately, we ended up having to write that because of some time frame. We weren't sure if Anastasia was going to be there. Had some time frame issues, so we ended up not being able to have Mole in that one either. So we had to rewrite it to be only 3 of us, and so we wrote it in that way to let those 2 have a focus. But I was gonna reveal at the end of that episode, when it looked like we were going to escape, I was going to have most likely my character get shot in the back, possibly Marcus, probably mine.
To be fair, you would have had Mole there, but it took like an hour or so before you even began writing it.
In other words, we had it written. All we had to do was work the Anastasia parts back in. It wouldn't have taken that long until everybody started arguing about the episode.
It's what we do.
Evidently. But the plan was going to be we were going to get shot in the back, and I was actually going to reveal that Nurse Needlam was actually a Romulan spy who'd been planted in that chamber specifically in case, because they realized that the signal had been intercepted by the Maquis, and they assumed that a Maquis ship would arrive and figured they'd plant her in the Maquis, but when it was us, they figured, well, Federation ship, that's even better.
That's why written on the bottom said, in case of espionage, break glass.
Exactly. So I was going to have that be revealed to both have it revealed that she was working with the bad guys, and that's why she was the character was sort of playing dumb as if she was from the 21st century, but actually was not. Was going to be part of the revelation, and then she would have been the Romulan representative, and the following episode, the one right before the finale, we would have all been being held captive, and we would have had to break free, and from all the powers working together, and that would have led into us returning to Starfleet, realizing we were massively outnumbered and outgunned, and then it would have led into the 2-part finale. But unfortunately, that whole thing kind of got taken out, but it worked out in the end because I wasn't sure whether to leave Nora as a Romulan spy or have it be a double cross and reveal that Bradford had come up with the idea in advance just in case it looked like we were screwed, so we'd keep some kind of an ace in the hole. But either way. But that was a plot line that I would have really liked to work in. I think would have pulled it together, but it worked out in the end either way. But that's enough of me talking for this whole thing, even though that's most of these episodes of this radio play anyway. What about you guys? What do you think? What were your experiences in this? What did you like and not like?
You know what would have been interesting if you wanted to do the Romulan spy thing? You should have made Bradford the Romulan spy. But instead of making him evil, he's more like, yeah, the Tal Shiar didn't quite like what was going on. They thought there was something fishy, so I was sent to investigate, and it appears they were right.
That would have been interesting. But I don't know, since he's like the captain dude. So it could have been weird.
For the most part, I enjoyed it. There's some issues where I had during this, but for the most part, I enjoyed it.
It feels like quite a bit of fluff in there.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Indeed.
I don't know why it was fun to be mean to Rick.
Oh, you do. You know.
Yeah, I do. It was
Once
always
again,
fun it was always fun to be mean to Roger. Not Rick per se, but Roger.
Now, once again, Rick stole the show.
Well, that's because he had the most adorable, little voice ever. Pathetic, I don't know. This is amazing voice.
Welcome to Krusty Burger.
May I take your order?
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger.
No. You don't get to ruin a good sketch, no.
Well, it's supposed to be Rick's voice. I think it'd be funny if it was done in that voice.
Yeah, ruining a good sketch is what Family Guy writers do.
Pretty much. And as we all know, they're not even really writers. They're just manatees.
Yeah.
I also do like the hyper-artistic Gorn. I think that was
very unique.
clever.
I did like that you came up with that, Mole. That was really good.
He wasn't supposed to be at first.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, like I said at first, it was just supposed to be more like, yes, sir. and stuff like that. When the episode when someone didn't show up, it was a case of I had no choice, like the others didn't, but to talk more, and therefore I had to change my whole character.
Yep,
It happens.
it does. It does. What about you, Anastasia? You had the. I know you had some hesitation to join this because of your, complete lack of any knowledge of anything Star Trek outside of the more recent Abrams films.
Why did you feel the need to add of Star Trek to the end of that? That was a complete sentence. I'm kidding.
Ouch.
I'm kidding.
Well, yeah, I know you were very interested in giving it a shot, but I know you had initially been so concerned about the lack of knowledge. How did you feel? Did you feel you were out of element a lot, or did you feel that we worked it around?
I felt like I was mostly out of element a lot.
Yeah, it did seem that way a bit, and I do apologize for that.
But like I said, you were still a good character. I like Nurse Needle. I want to say Nurse Needleham, but I think that's wrong. Nora. I know you as Nora, but I wasn't sure if it was Needleham or Needleham.
Whatever you want to say is good.
Needleham.
I pronounced it as Needleham, but it was written as Needleham.
Needleham.
Which is just the name of one of my favorite people at Sears, so...
Needleham?
I was pretty sure Needleham was one of the things you had to feed your grunties in .hack.
Yeah. It's the hyphen situation all over again. No hyphen, Needleham. Hyphen, Needleham. It's like a pig cosplaying as Sonic. Needleham.
You know, when you say it like that, I'm picturing you stick out your hand like you're doing a special move, and it just makes it so much better.
Needleham.
Needleham.
Needle giraffe. And then I don't know if you're uppercut.
Don't give away Jim's next character of Needle Giraffe.
Oh, sorry.
Well, on the plus side, Pew will not be out of her element for the next one because she will be taking over.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It's true. Indeed.
I literally took the torch of mine and gave it to Jim, who peed all over it, and is now going to give it to Pew.
Funny.
Wow.
Well, the next one is going to be amazing, so...
Well, what do you want to tell us? What is the title and theme of your next one? You want to premiere it here?
Okay, sure. The next one is called Scores No More. And the first episode is called Whiteout.
Nice. And the basic premise is that we are all video game characters, not real ones, but basically parodies of video game characters who...
Kind of like Wreck-It Ralph, except more for just online gaming, or not online gaming, for that matter, because soon they will be...
Online gaming, but not online gaming.
Wait, no, you don't finish. It's online gaming, but because the bad thing that I'm not going to reveal, we'll try to make it not online gaming.
I thought it wasn't all... Oh, okay, I thought it wasn't all online gaming.
It's not like 100% like all online, but it's mostly interacting with other people like online for the most part of it.
Okay, then.
Fair enough.
Or it could be games that aren't specifically like meant to be online, but they're all still connected through a server.
Fair enough. That makes sense. So basically, it's either the PlayStation or Microsoft Cloud has now...
Like, you can download retro titles and all that stuff, you know?
Yeah, that
so
type
they're
of stuff.
technically still connected to the internet.
Nice. So just out of curiosity, are we going to see the villain of this attend a self-help group session?
Could be.
Nice.
Or they
the
could
main-
be running it secretly to convert more people to their torturous ways.
If it's an online thing, Jim, we're gonna have to constantly kick the crap out of like little gecko-looking
Mhm.
puppies from Power Rangers, and they're gonna be called the Lizard Squad.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Ah! Nice.
Now, this is supposed to be a bunch of online games. Is Mole's character going to have... Is the demon version of Mole's character going to have a wife?
It's not online game, like all online games. It's just they're all connected through online somehow.
Yeah, it's about how reliant we are on online.
Like some of them actually are online games. Other ones are just connect online because it's on a computer.
Yeah, like to be fair, even stuff like Disney Infinity. I think it was the first one more than or it was the second, one of those two. When the PlayStation Network went down, people couldn't get in there.
Nope.
Because online, it's like, it's not. Why can't you access offline? Why? Why is this a thing?
I don't know.
And of course, Rick will steal the show once more.
Oh, he always does.
I don't. I won't be the best talker, I'll say that.
I
but
love
you
your
got
silent
clever.
character. This could be amazing.
Just your presence, Rick.
Oh, okay.
Insert everything they ever say whenever Undertaker comes down the ring about his presence here.
Yeah. Yes.
That describes you with your
Totally.
ominous pixelish.
Oh my god, on minute 6 of his presence. He is entering the top rope.
Oh my god, Marcus, what does the scouter say about his presence level? And this is why we're not allowed to be commentators on wrestling. Can you imagine that? Like Jim Ross actually being like, or Michael Cole to make it update, being like, oh my god, can you feel the sheer presence of the dead man here, people? And then one of the commentators just goes, yeah, oh my god, what does the scouter say about his presence level? That dude's being fired. But,
True.
yeah. But, like
But for one night, he'll be the most over commentator in WWE.
he was. But like I said, I liked this Star Trek Opium. I thought Jim did a good.
Star Trek Opium?
That's what it's called, the Opium Syndicate.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't. It begins with an O.
Close enough.
The Optimus Prime Syndicate.
There you go.
The Optimal Syndicate.
Bradford, light our darkest hour.
Is it the Optical Syndicate?
Yes.
Closer.
Optimum, I think.
Awesome.
Optimal.
Optimum.
Thank you, Optimal. I generally forgot the O because, to be fair, I never had to say the title every week. I just had to appear in it.
True.
But it was a case of, like I said, Jim did a good job with the Star Trek radio play.
Indeed.
Like I said, for the most part, like I said, I had some issues here or there with various stuff, but I'm not going to get into that. But overall, it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And I was locked in a closet with Rick. That's always a plus.
Oh, yeah.
Hollow closet.
What was it? What was that, Marcus?
It's a hollow closet.
Oh. More of an actual closet because I had to.
Yeah, it was all the training room. It wasn't in the holodeck.
Oh, I thought it was a.
It was my secret. I took him inside my secret passage. Don't make this.
Oh, that's right.
Don't make this sound wrong. It was a blackout, and I led the innocent cadet into my secret passage. Don't make this sound wrong.
And showed him his most secretive stuff. Don't make this creepy.
Yes.
Hammer time.
I still love some of the stuff we'd had written down when I was doing the DC one, like Cyborg watches him sleep. I'm like, yeah, there's no way that doesn't sound creepy when you read it out loud. You're like, that's not the context.
I'm watching you.
Yeah, he's just watching him sleep. Why?
I love because you would be like, I had to change that, and I'm like, why? And you're like, because I could hear you snickering before you even saw it. I was like, yeah, I would have.
Yeah, so I was like, damn it. But this one actually had someone watching someone sleep.
I did.
It had me watching Marcus sleep. Because I'd practiced my creeping.
You did.
It's a giant lizard. And I like the idea that he's been stealthy this whole time.
Hey, lizards can be stealthy.
Not when he's like the size of Killer Croc. I also love the jumps up out the floor, stamps on her neck, and snaps his neck. Was it? It snaps his neck a tiny bit. I said, oh, partly snaps his neck, and everyone's like, yeah, he's dead. Oh,
Hence why I used the word maim instead of kill. I was like, dude, I didn't say maim the dude. I said stop him.
I know. It was just funny. It turns out that okay, he's dead. It's like, oh. Then when Jim's looking away with the others, I use my foot to push him down the hole like someone's sweeping dirt into the carpet in a cartoon. I don't know why.
I mean, there's not much I can do when the doctor pronounced him dead. I'm like, well, the doctor said he's dead, so he's dead.
Yeah, he is.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I just took that as people misunderstood the partly snapped his neck as he snapped his neck. To be fair, it doesn't instantly kill people like Hollywood says, but
Yeah.
No, it would
He was just
paralyze
paralyzed from the from the neck down, and he was going to receive no medical attention. He's fine.
yeah, that bit. That.
Is that Jax's X-ray attack? He like jumps up from the ground, knocks them down, stomps on their neck,
Yeah.
shows it like snapping in half, and then he gets up, and then they just get up and like continue
Yes,
around.
mixed with what I did to the snowman, where I pick him
Yes.
up Bane style and across the knee.
Yes. Jackson
we'll just
Combat Pack 3 confirmed.
Okay, we'll just set him up next to Christopher Pike.
Sounds pretty
Too soon.
badass.
The original Dalek, you mean?
Yes, the original Dalek. I like that.
The Roomba?
Oh my god, I have something to show Rick after this. The greatest title ever.
Oh, okay.
I showed it to Pew. I'm not going to read it now, but I'll show it you after we go on the air. But, like I said, I personally like this. I would be curious to see if we do more. So like we said, all of these RPs, we've said we can always come back to at a later date.
Indeed.
Because
So
we
there
can
could-
always do season 2.
Yeah, there could always be a recurrence down the line, another season of this when we get back around to me again. That'll be at least minimum of 3 radio plays from now, possibly 4.
Although, to be fair, you did say you're probably going to do Animorphs next.
Yeah, I do like the concept of Animorphs, and I think we'll probably do an Animorphs team next, and I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Plus, I don't really think we should do a season 2 of any of the ones that had Marcus in, because I know he's not going to be in the later ones.
This is true. This is true.
So it'd be us without him, which I don't know if that'd work. Cause,
Yes, we can off-screen kill him
we could.
because that's never tacky. We need
Right.
to do that.
Wait, wait, that's it. He was Cyborg Cyborg died off screen and went brain dead. So Dr. Adams, who survived in a computer, took over his body.
I was just gonna have Zhao like go to a lake to try to find someone, and then she comes up and he just dies.
But don't worry, Cyborg. You'll always still hear that. You're just in a vegetative state in case you return.
And then Batman can watch him while he sleeps.
Oh no, Gorilla Grodd's come in. Wait, no, put Cyborg. Oh my god, he's raping him. He's literally raping him. At what point would you think Mark would be like, yeah, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back to be.
No, Batman needs to wear him like Jetfire.
Yes.
Yes.
See, Jim, I always thought you should do a person of interest one. I thought that'd be kind of fascinating.
That could be also interesting, but the problem when you get into that sort of thing where it's supposed to be more like real life, it can be harder to work with and it can be more boring very easily.
You have to look
Could
up
be,
a
but I
lot
thought
of
it'd be
shit.
kind of interesting for you to like set up scenarios where we have to try to save somebody.
See, I'm not sure I'm good enough to do that. That's the thing.
Fair enough.
I don't have that
What
much
he means
confidence
is
in
he doesn't
myself.
think we could save anybody.
Well, I didn't. Richter said it, not me.
I looked down and whispered no.
Not this day.
Mhm.
Because I'm thinking like if you did that, like you would basically play the computer, and so you're sending us on missions.
Okay then. You know, if anything, I play
Hello,
Mr.
angels.
Yeah, if anything, I'd be Mr. Finch, and I'd be the one getting them from the computer and sending you on missions. But fair enough.
Computer.
Fair enough. Well,
Computer,
don't-
come in, computer. Oh, he's been blue screened again, I'm guessing. Trick.
Now, the only reason I didn't say Finch is because I thought he was a field agent as well, in addition to being the operator of said computer.
Typically speaking, Finch is only a field agent if it's absolutely necessary. He'd rather stay at the hideout and feed information to everybody else. He only goes in the field if it's absolutely necessary, like when there's a lack of operatives to deal with a bunch of shit, or if like Reese is getting his ass kicked and needs a pickup.
I thought Finch was in charge of looking after Recess. Oh wait, that's Finster. My bad.
That's Finster. That'll be another one where we're the Recess gang. That would also be fun.
Ugh.
Richter's the Mikey.
And Pew is all the Ashleys,
Pretty much.
including 10 more Ashleys I've just made up now. Ooh.
And including Ashley Spinelli because she's got the attitude.
Rick
Mhm.
will repurpose the voice as Gus Griswold.
There you go.
I liked Gus.
Perfect.
Although if we
Oh.
ever did do a sequel
let me-
to this, how would we actually, pilot an Enterprise?
We would just have the same way that the regular senior staff pilots at Enterprise, they have a lot of generic unnamed crew people that just kind of show up and leave and die.
Well, the way we would pilot the starship is we did stuff in this, and we were planning to do stuff that hadn't been done in the main continuity with holograms before. So logically, you're going to make some physical holograms of crew who do their job and act exactly like crew and pilot the ship, but never have to talk, thus explaining why the extras don't say hi when we walk past them.
The extras don't say hi when the regular crew are past them in a Star Trek TV show.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
That was the joke, Jim. That's why it explains why they do that.
Fair enough.
Because extras on TV shows, if someone walked in, like let's say Richter walked on the bridge, if that's real life and he walks into the office for the first day at work, people might turn around in their chair and be like, "Oh, hi, Rick," and then go back to work. This one, he walks in, everyone's like, "Can't speak to him, not a main character."
Yep. Well, if we're gonna do something hilarious like that, we'll do a radio play of red shirts, and only Marcus is gonna understand what I mean by that.
Ah! Radio play of red shirts.
I'll tell you what. Yeah. And Red Shirts is a hilarious comedy novel about a group of people who get assigned to work on a starship Intrepid, and they start seeing weird things happening that don't make sense. Like, there's a box in the science lab that just gives what they need. They just put it in there for a few hours, and it just tells them whatever they need, and just does things. And how the bridge crew always seem to go on an away mission, and some random guy always dies on it, and it's never the captain, the first officer, or the handsome Lieutenant Kerensky. And shit like that, and they eventually have to. They try to figure out you can see where it's going, but they have to try to figure out why weird ass shit's happening on the ship.
That's a brilliant book.
Sounds pretty funny. I will admit my favorite parodies of them are still Galaxy Quest and Red Dwarf.
That's pretty good. I also have a great novel. There's also a series of novels called Star Wreck. They're pretty funny also. But anyway, this isn't about parodies. This is about, but yeah.
Are we gonna do a Red Dwarf one at some point? Radio play?
We should do a Red Dwarf.
Yes.
If you do a Red Dwarf one, go ahead. But I'm gonna be the pew for that one because I know nothing about Red Dwarf.
do.
Red Dwarf?
Do.
Pew has to be the computer.
Is that not anything about
Holly,
that?
anything?
Oh, if we do Red Dwarf, I want to recruit Simon, and Simon has to be the Rimmer.
Oh, Simon's a rimmer, all right.
Hey,
but yeah, I like that. But yeah, moving forward with this, I like the Star Trek one, and moving forward with the radio plays, there are loads of great ideas. Like Pew's got the video game one, which sounds cool. Richter has an idea, which I'm not going to spoil, which sounds cool. I've got an idea I'm not going to spoil, which sounds cool.
It does.
And I'm sure Jim's got an idea for his next one, which he'll spoil.
I thought he already did.
I'm gonna do an Animorphs one of some kind. It'll be pretty basic. We're gonna play some people that get the power to turn into animals, and we're gonna fight some aliens. It's gonna be cool.
That's not what I meant by spoil it.
Okay.
Rick understood what I meant. I think when he giggled, if Jim will spoil it, as in Jim will write it badly.
Ah.
It's what he did. No, that's mean. I'm not gonna.
That's not
That's.
Jim, or as we now know him on the X-Pound, RP Bay.
What?
Okay then.
Oh.
Wow.
That needs to be a thing.
I'm kidding.
All right, guys. In this scene, our ship is gonna explode. Oh, okay. Didn't they do that last episode? Yes.
Yeah, it'll just be a radio play of him going, okay, explosion. Google Hangouts, keep pressing explosion.
In all fairness, if we're going accurately to Star Trek, I think based on how we went through the whole thing and we got to the end, and a character that had barely been addressed was suddenly a completely unrelated character that was mentioned like once in the pilot. I'd say that makes me RP Shyamalan.
And then I should keep. And then like I said, if we're doing the Michael Bay one, I totally need to work on the crew at one point and be like, "Hey guys, I'm totally not a racist stereotype."
Pretty much.
Pew, you can be an alien. Actually, no, you're a female. You can show your boobs. Rick, you're an alien.
Yay!
And now we have done this. We need to write this. What if Michael Bay did insert property as a radio play? It would be amazing.
It's like,
He's
now
an alien, he
we'll
should also
remember
have to
how
show his
you.
boobs.
It's like, now, Moldy, remember how your character Superman punched a snowman in the last one? Yeah. Faster, more intense.
Yep.
Yep.
Snow explosion.
Snow explosion.
There you go.
Snow explosion. I love it.
You'll never catch Snow Scream.
Nice. I approve.
I don't know why.
Ah, my coal.
Yes. But what? But no, like I liked what you did with the Star Trek one, Jim.
Thank you.
It's interesting.
It was a good concept.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, and if it helps, Pew, I wasn't actually saying you just need to get your boobs out. It was more of a case of
No, she definitely does.
no, we were just parodying the Michael Bay thing of he does racist, alien, stereotypes, explosions,
And boobs.
and boobs.
And boobs.
And well, we
And
need.
butts.
Then each of us also should change our Skype picture to an American flag because he has those fucking everywhere in his movies.
That
Except
too.
for me, because I'm not American, I even need to change to a cup of tea to be racist, or a picture of an American flag exploding.
Yeah.
There you go.
America.
I know.
Fuck yeah.
Well, technically, if we're going based on other people who are racist to your country, your picture should either be a red phone booth or a little black taxi car.
Okay. I'm gay. I'm choosing to not get this.
Just
No.
then you're right.
Yeah, but like I said, story-wise was pretty cool. Like I said, I enjoyed. I don't know why I wrote the Christmas one. Like I said to you, I just thought it was really funny.
It was funny.
The other one I did, the blackout, wasn't that good.
Yeah, the blackout episode had some issues, and that was an unfortunate miscommunication in that episode where I had overstated. I said that we had 2 hours of oxygen left in that one, and that was, in retrospect, I realized probably an overstatement. It didn't make for good drama, and Marcus didn't hear it, and he attempted to make it more dramatic and said 20 minutes, and because of miscommunication, where Anastasia heard me and Marcus didn't, there was a little discrepancy and a little bit of fighting over how much time we had left.
Yeah, and the stuff of her character seemed weaker in that episode. But
Yeah,
like I said, I liked the Christmas one. I'm just saying I didn't like the other one. But I did, but
Yeah.
like I said, some episodes were really great as well. Like I like Rick was always good.
Rick was great.
Well.
Rick's the best one.
Although, like I said, in that episode that I didn't like, I did like taking Richter into the closet. That was funny. I don't know why.
He doesn't like taking it
that's
in the
funny.
closet.
Return checks will come out of the closet.
I pull out my gun.
But Captain Bradford, you complete me.
Ha! Yes.
It was official.
That was one of the best lines.
Yeah. Gornford. It's our
Gornford.
it's our prime couple.
There you go. There you
If
go.
we do a season 2, Jim, we need to keep continuing our shipping of each other.
Yes.
Fire the torpedo, Mr.
I was
Gorn.
shipping you two from the very beginning.
Yeah.
I can't let you do that, Bradford.
Yeah. Gornford. I think the other reluctant ship is Needleshell.
Yeah, and like I
Oh
said,
God, Kim, more like kill yourself.
just because you're the captain out there doesn't mean give you control of my bridge. Now, beam on board and let's get ready. Get your phasers to stun.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
That was the next one. Yep.
Hope you're not wearing a red shirt because it's about to get messy in here. I ship Pew and Richter's characters.
Yay. Did we ever talk? I don't know if we did.
I
Yeah,
thought we were
exactly.
cool.
So you were exactly like a married couple.
Oh, okay. There you go. But
I mean, it was just the other day when we weren't recording XG on. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but Richter even admitted he hasn't even spoke to Wife Blade in like 10 years. He doesn't even remember what she looks like. But that's a marriage. That's not canon. I was like how Richter's laughing. He's not going to say yes, and he's not going to say no. He's just being like, I don't think that's how marriage works.
not if you're doing it right.
I ship Marcus and Jack Frost.
Nice.
Okay
Well,
then.
The
Mark,
same
Mark
person.
Frost.
yeah.
Hmm.
Frost.
Or if we're doing the holiday ones,
Yeah, I was
we
shipping
can
that
do
one.
Jack Frost.
But no, ironically, like I said, that they were my two favorites. But I know there's other episodes and other people have done them, and there are a lot of good episodes. So I didn't know which one everyone here liked and didn't like. As like favorite and least favorite.
I like the one where it was just the three of us because it felt the most organic. Because it was primarily just kind of going off the cuff, and it was more like an RPG where it's like, okay, we do stuff, and then Jim comes up with some shit, and we're like, okay, so we're gonna have to work our way through this, and then, and then Jim had to roll with what we were giving him to try to make sure, he didn't put us into like, back us into a corner or anything. So it was kind of cool because up until this point, I hadn't really seen Jim just think off the cuff in one of these things. Like I know he struggled with that because that's what I tried to do with the Ghostbusters was I was trying to have you guys go more off the cuff. And I know even with the DC one, Jim was struggling with off the cuff, but with this episode, like he came up with shit off the top of his head. I was like, wow. Okay, shit, I don't know how to respond to this. And then it was cool also to see Richter just go off the cuff. It was just, I don't know, I had a lot of fun just because it felt like your classic standard RPG, text RPG, just going back and forth and having that character interaction. So I had a lot of fun with that episode.
Yeah.
What does Richter think?
Oh, I thought you were also going to mention your worst.
Oh, oh no, the least favorite would have probably been that bottle episode just because of all the issues with that, the miscommunications and whatnot. Which is too bad because it was a really good concept that you came up with. Well, I really did like the concept. But just, things happen, miscommunications, and it didn't work out.
Yep.
Shall we say.
Yep.
Which is too bad because there was one really good thing with that episode, and it makes it feel kind of bad that because of all the issues that could get, overlooked, and that was the Jax and McClinton stuff because that was really, good character development for those two characters.
Yeah.
Yep. You were sabotaged.
Indeed.
Can't stand it. I know you planned it.
All right.
So,
Well, if there's nothing else, we'll go ahead and wrap this up.
Yay.
I thought other people would have done the same thing. Like I gave my best and worst, went to Marcus, and then I thought one of you guys would have given.
Okay, somebody else want to give a best and worst? Go ahead.
I think we did that on the DC one at least.
yeah.
Okay, Richter, go ahead.
Okay. Best? I don't know. Maybe one of the first two, because I felt like we had a really good start. They went really well. But let me see. Worst? I don't know. The thing is, it seems like for most of them, like it'd be like one scene or something that would go awry. So I don't know if any of the full episodes I'd say were like super bad because I think they all had some like good parts, and then maybe one part would be bad. But overall, I'm not sure if any episode was like just awful or anything.
Oh no, it wasn't a teen film from the late 2000s that was trying to be super bad. Hilarious pun, thank you.
Wow.
I'm not wrong. After Superbad came out, all the teen films copied Superbad. I don't know why.
Oh, is that why we got a rash of shit?
Hey-o. No Hollywood is the reason we got a rash of shit.
Yeah.
Well, that too, yeah.
Yeah.
They were super bad, done well, bad, ironically, but super bad was pretty fun.
Fair enough.
That was like Napoleon Dynamite.
That was weird. Like, I can't tell if I like it or not.
Yeah, it's one of those things where a lot of people are like you mentioned, like that, or some are like, I just didn't get it, or I didn't like it.
I just don't know why this exists.
Like, the scene of him dancing is hilarious to me, but I can't explain why. I love that scene.
Napoleon Dynamite is, in my opinion, one of the weirdest films made, because it's one of those films where you don't leave and thinking, oh, this was a feel family film, or this was an action, or this was a rom-com. You leave it thinking, I don't know what I just watched, but for some reason I kind of liked it.
Exactly.
And that's kind of a wonderful, I don't know why. But how about Pew and Jim then for best and worst? Pew?
I kind of like the first one, even though I was in it the least. I don't know why. I guess it was hopeful and had potential.
Why? Because you were in the ice?
No, I don't know. It felt hopeful.
It did. It felt good until we had all the problems.
Mm-hmm.
Can't that describe, like, anything?
No, I meant it didn't, like, start shit.
Gotcha.
Whereas, like, some TV shows are like, oh my god, that just started shit, where and then, like, you get, like, shows like that 70s show, it's like, this is really great. Oh, they replaced Kelso and Foreman with, who the fuck are you? Randy? What? No, fuck off. And then the show went downhill. Hated Randy. I think everyone hates
Randy.
Yeah, when you look it up, where you can look, because I assume people are probably going to look that up afterwards. Basically, when Ashton Kutcher left and Eddie Brock left, basically, the show then, Topher Grace, fine, but when Eddie Brock left, basically, there was a gap there, so they were like, oh, what should we fill with this gap? And they brought in a character, I think his name was Randy, and he was basically like a hybrid of both characters, and was shit. I hated that character.
Wait, so our RP started off strong and then went down? We're not Star Trek at all.
You're saying Star Trek's normally shit, and then increases, and then you go, oh, I'm glad I actually did watch this. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly how that's the formula for Star Trek. Season 1 and 2, complete and utter crap. Season 3, that's when it gets good.
That seems odd.
Oh my god, on Jim's like 5th turn then, that's gonna be an amazing one.
Yes, now Rick's insulting Jim. High five. Ba-la-la-la.
I hate you all.
Hey Rick, ghost bump.
You wrote us that one. No, I'm kidding.
No, you don't get to ghost bump Rick. You screwed his character over in yours.
Oh no, that was Marcus. I was gonna say I gave him armor and everything in mine.
You're fine. You gave him awesome armor. Marcus wouldn't even let him hit anything, and then killed him.
It's okay. When Pew got hold of the backpack, it worked.
I was apparently just drunk all the time.
It worked because Richter aimed it for her.
So 2 wrongs make a right?
Apparently.
It's like, she probably wouldn't have hit anything. But if both people holding it can't hit anything, pow! Precision.
That's why like I said, I will admit I did parody that by having Cyborg miss, and then Batman shot his bow and it worked instantly.
Yeah.
I'm like, that shouldn't be a thing, but I'm like, okay, that's how this works, apparently. Let's parody that. Like, I parodied a few things when I was doing the DC one. I don't know why.
Because it was
I'm going to try to do less parodies of our... I'm going to try to parody less of our RPs when we go to do the future one of mine.
Fair enough. Yes, let's wrap it up with Jim then.
And with me, I would say my favorite one was probably...
Did Pew... Oh, okay. I was going to say, did Pew mention her worst?
Oh, worst.
Yeah, worst Pew.
Worst Pew.
Which one was the one where?
I know which one I'd nominate.
What was the one where I was supposed to do an operation on Jeff, but he wasn't having it?
That was the bottle episode.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
that was
one.
the one that I said. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one that Mole wrote.
Yeah, that's the one I also said, yeah. That
Yep,
just
yep.
went horrible in that one. So that one scene just kind
Yeah.
of destroyed it. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I would
And
agree.
I do
I would-
apologize for that.
Yeah, and I would have to agree with that one as the worst. That one kind of went off the rails, and just we never got it back on. For my best one, I would say, I think I have to agree with probably the first or the second one. I think because we had a good structure. You know, we got in, we got out. The crew was working together. We did what we needed to do. I think it pulled together. I think that one worked. That one worked particularly well. Yeah, I think probably that one. I think what was the one where Marcus and Rick went off on their own and did the spying on the other thing. That was really good too. That idea you guys came up with. I like that one also. So I'll give it to those.
Yay.
Indeed.
Woo.
I will say, yeah, as the series progresses, if you listen closely, you could literally hear Gene Roddenberry rolling over in his grave.
Mission accomplished.
I'm kidding. I don't want to be mean to Gene. Hey, that rhymes.
Mean Gene.
I'll tell you something, Mean Gene. Oh, please tell me because there was talking over. Please tell me Hogan was one of the racist Captain Planet people.
He was the first one.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I mentioned Hogan and Mel Gibson.
Yeah, I didn't hear because I heard Mel Gibson. And so okay. Whew. Crisis.
Yeah, no, you were okay. Okay then. So, any final thoughts?
Take care of each other and those around you.
Friendship
That's
is
still
magic.
on. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. What the hell is he gonna do? He's not paying enough. That show that he was hosting for them got canceled.
Yep.
Just I didn't know. I thought he'd been off the air for 10 years. And I was just surprised to see he was still on.
Yeah, if he's still on. Maury's still on. Making
Spoiler,
followers,
his show's not dead. It's like a comic book twist of, wait a minute.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember, I thought Jerry Springer had gone off when Steve effectively split off and had his own show, and I'm like, oh, so Jerry Springer's backing away now. But no, when I was like, oh, what?
Is Steve still on?
I think the Steve Wilkos show is still on, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, thank all four of you for joining me for this little adventure through space.
You're
Woo.
welcome.
It was a pleasure, and Q blesses everyone.
You blesses everyone indeed.
Q blesses nobody.
Yeah.
He blesses himself, and even that he can't get right.
That's not true because that's not totally true. I said the funny thing is if you read some of the Q novels, there's that one really good novel where he reveals that literally everything he'd ever done in Star Trek was actually helping humanity so they'd be ready for an ultimate test to prove that the universe deserved to survive.
Yeah,
Wrong,
he's literally... He's...
Those-
What?
I said wrong Q.
Ah, okay.
What do you mean?
Add a J, I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it.
QJ.
Oh.
Oh, I thought he.
What does he have to do with
Star Trek
anything?
Q.
Yeah. Was that not what you meant, Mo?
I meant Q as in Q from Star Trek.
Thank
That's
you.
what I thought.
Yeah, no,
Discord from Little Pony.
I meant Q from Star Trek. Marcus made a joke about QJ, and I understand his joke, because he was on making the joke that QJ's never here to bless us.
Okay.
Thus,
We
it
missed that.
was funny.
She was also able that Q doesn't bless anyone, even himself, by saying, oh, Q's a dick and wouldn't help anyone. He couldn't even save himself in a lot of times, so it made sense both ways.
Fair enough. Not my intent, but fair enough.
Indeed. But do check out that great novel where he reveals everything they show like everything he's ever done in any of the series was leading to humanity proving to a power greater than the Q that the universe deserved not to be reset. It was
But
awesome.
speaking of books containing the word Star, check out our channel for a review of mine and Pew's Star Wars: The Joke Book.
Totally. Good night.
It's
And
like
that's an actual review. We actually did do that one.
They did actually do that.
It's a really funny joke book. I like that joke book. Was Rick there? No, that was Kage. Okay.
Yeah, no, it was me.
It was Australian Rick.
Okay then.
When he has his cork hat on.
Mhm.
Curse you, Rick, and your ability to disguise as anyone.
he's a master of disguise.
I am Zartan.
He has his head perfectly shaped for all and every wig that instantly
Yes.
changes body shape.
Pretty much.
Fact.
That's how Google Hangouts canon. Okay. Well, thank you out there in internet land for joining us for Star Trek: The Optimum Syndicate. We hope you've enjoyed it. Stay tuned next Saturday for the premiere of Scores No More,
And
hosted by and written by and starring Anastasia Lazerbeam and the rest of us.
a reminder, you should have in the description below this one, Jim's going to go through and get all the links
I will go through and get all the links.
so people can find every episode we were talking
But,
about. One, two.
I'm gonna need the Zelda timeline to remember them all.
Well, you're fucked.
I know. Like, does Link will count? I don't even know.
No.
Dude, even Nintendo can't keep that shit straight. And they wrote the book.
Well, to be fair, that's like the Catholic Church in the Bible.
Yeah, but you never expected them to keep that shit straight. You were doomed to be disappointed from the beginning.
Fair enough.
I don't know which one she's referring to, but it counts in both instances.
yes, it
Pretty
does.
much. Pretty much. All right, folks. We'll see you next week. This is Captain Bradford. And
Peace
long.
out.
Live long and gone.
Live long and gorn. Live long and gorn.
Live long and gone.